Are flying over Big Cypress National Preserve. It's late May and we're flying over the northeast corner of the Ellison wildfire. You can see here this wildfire exhibited the signature of that ecologically preferable mosaic, green within the black. Much of the cypress remained green, even some of the slash pine, which is usually very labile during a fire, remained green. So that was just the nice nature of that fire. Here's a spot that's still smoldering. That's typical. It's surrounded by, doesn't have much of a place to go because most of the real estate around it has, the labile fuels have been burned off. Here we're going to be looking at the ground. This is a fire adapted ecosystem. So it depends on fire just like it depends on water to stay healthy. Now we're flying outside of the footprint of the Ellison into an area that's primarily cypress. That didn't burn, not because it was holding water. Water table was pretty down. And there, see how dry it is. Flying over the area north of the Ellison wildfire, south of I-75, an area that's called Mullet Slough. What looks like hills are actually the low spots. It's a sea of cypress where the trees are tallest. The land surface is lowest, and they, during this time of year, typically hold some water in the domes, but not this year because the spring dry down was so dry, and that's what made the swamp vulnerable to wildfire this year. Here's a look at one of the aviation resources the firefighters are able to employ. It's a giant helicopter. It's called a crane, and it sort of looks like a mosquito. It has the carapace of a mosquito. It holds up to 3,000 gallons of water, and it's filling up at that tank, the water tank. It's a huge tank. I don't know the exact height, but it was definitely over 15 feet tall. And it looks like a mosquito too by merit of it filling up with that hose. Looks like the stinger on the mosquito. As it fills up with water, you can see kind of the blades on top of the helicopter kind of inverting a little bit into a cone because it's carrying that extra weight. And it had just come back from dropping water on a hot spot to the north, not just for dousing it, but putting enough moisture on those hot spots to allow the firefighters on the ground to more effectively and safely get in there to do their work. So here it's filling up, just about filled up. You can see two tractor trailers driving by I-75 to the north, and the crane's all filled up and heading south or southeast to another hot spot. And there it goes. Not all wildfires have that ecologically desirable result. This is from a wildfire, I guess about 10 years ago, where there was extensive mortality in slash pine area, and in the replacement come up sable palm, which are not the desirable species in this area. So that's an example where a previous burn was destructive. Now here we are flying north of I-75 in an area called Little Marsh, and on the 22nd and 23rd of May, this area received a significant amount of rain and put water levels back to where they should be this time of year. The rest of the preserve, as of the start of June, was still low, but this area, not only to put out the fire, it raised the water table to a level that we would expect for this time of year. There's a good look at it. And here we are flying south back through Mullet Slough. It was a very large area that was burned during this mud lake complex, around 35,000 acres, but that's only a small fraction of Big Cypress National Preserve, less than 5%. So it's nice to fly over places that are still, as we expect to see in late spring, the beginning of summer, still green. Thanks for watching.